You made it through the first quarter. The first quarter was a busy one for the Financial Playbook. We had goals and objectives, financial statements, tax preparation, and insurance. Welcome to the second quarter. The second quarter is going to be a little bit easier. In this video, I'm going to cover the 3 things we're going to address in the playbook for Q2, which is performance reporting, the miscellaneous section, and insurance. Let's start with the performance reporting section of your playbook. In the performance section, we assess how we're doing. We consider where we want to end up and we measure our progress along the way. We don't want surprises at the end of our journey. Here are 3 different questions to answer for a performance review and a few ways that we try to answer those questions. Question 1, are the underlying investments allocated appropriately to support my goals? I think this is a really important question. Buying the right mix of investments is simply using the right tool for the job. It helps ensure success, whereas the wrong tool can often cause a failure. One thing I really like to use to answer this question is what I call an investment narrative. It's simply a list of each type of investment that you own and a summary of what each of those investments do for you. For example, it might say this investment is a CD, it has guaranteed return of principal and provides a modest fixed rate of return. Or the investment is a mutual fund that tracks an index. We own this so we get exposure to our economy and the potential for long-term growth. I think understanding what you own and why you own it is extremely important. Another thing I like to use to answer this question is a riskalyze report. Here, we're trying to measure just how volatile your allocation could be. Ultimately, we're trying to make sure that we're not taking on unnecessary risk in your portfolio. The second question we might want to answer is, are your investments performing as expected? This is where we take a fundamental dive into the investment and make sure it's doing what we expected when we bought it. This is also where the narrative comes in as a useful tool. With a narrative, we can compare the performance of the investment we own with the expectations that we had when we bought it. Is it doing what it's supposed to do? I don't like surprises here, and we know our clients who are 5 to 6 years away from their work optional lifestyle or already there don't either. Finally, the third question we want to ask is, how's everybody else doing? Every once in a while, we need to look around and see what the rest of the world is doing so we don't run the risk of not being competitive. While it's always most important to focus on our own goals and objectives when we're looking at our investments, we don't want to get caught off guard by not being aware of things that are increasing like inflation that are going to impact our goals. A few metrics that we like to look at that are important are the broad market return like the S&P 500, global market returns, real estate returns, bond market returns, inflation numbers, and interest rates. So that's a lot, I know. The good news is that we can help. In fact, we want to help. You can call our office and request this information and we'll prep it for you. We can also sit down with you or Zoom or call and go through the results and see how they apply to your personal wealth portfolio. That is why we're here. The second thing we need to address in Q2 is the miscellaneous section. Now, we all know the miscellaneous section of the playbook is kind of like the junk drawer. It's a place for stuff that we're just not sure where it goes. And so sometimes we stick it in the miscellaneous section. Sometimes it stays there, sometimes it migrates out. The danger of the miscellaneous section is much like a junk drawer, is it can get overrun. So once a year, we want to flip through our miscellaneous section and just clean it out. Is there a better home for something in the miscellaneous section, or is it even still needed? Remember, we want to keep things tidy. For example, I had some letters to loved ones in my miscellaneous section, and at some point I just realized this would be much better off in my estate and legal document section, so I moved it. I also had been hanging on to warranty information for a product that I bought, but it was expired, and I found that and I could get rid of it and get it out of my miscellaneous section. Let's keep that playbook junk drawer tidy. The third thing we need to look at in Q2 is, of course, insurance. Insurance companies, unlike other financial institutions, tend to send out their policy information on renewal dates or anniversary dates rather than monthly, quarterly, or annually. So here we make an exception to the rule of only replacing our statements at the beginning of the year, and we update our insurance statements as they come in. I just had a great conversation with an insurance specialist the other day who confirmed you really only need to hang on to your declaration pages. Well, that's it for this quarter. If you get this stuff done, we think you are on track. Remember, there are 8 sections in your financial playbook: goals and objectives, financial statements, estate and legal documents, insurance, taxes, performance reporting, Social Security and pensions, and the miscellaneous section. To find out more about the playbook process, visit our website or buy the book on Amazon. See the links below. By the way, here's a simple diagram showing what topics you might address during each quarter, and this document is a free download on our website. As always, our goal with the playbook process is to reduce clutter so we can have a process and system to dot the I's and cross the T's and focus on what's really important. Make all of the important pieces of information accessible so we can make great holistic decisions. And finally, have everything organized so when someone needs to take over, they don't struggle keeping things running or ultimately settling our estate. Thank you for watching, and let's get to work, team.